hope they fared well up north in the mission.
Hello? Interested in blacksmithing or out? Me, you're welcome to our doors are always open. Hello?
Looking for the blacksmith? That would be me. That all? Right when I'm feeling better, the buckets vanish. Just...
Inga won't bite. Just tell... Follow what you want mended. So long.
Can I help you?
My father's got the cough.
In the country of Niralim's embrace, the summer manifests as an immortal fae. You know her, him, it, as the resplendent warrior, or the ardent conqueror. You mortals named him King Issa. In the youth of your people's memory, you bore witness to Issa's exploits. He is your legend of might and eminence. Come, listen to a tale of Issa and On, the God Storm, the Withering War.
Ever since this place was abandoned, strange beasts have moved in. Stay close. Keep quiet. We aren't safe here. This place has been abandoned for so long that some Fate Weavers think it's just a legend. The theater can show us the whole tapestry of fate, laid bare. We can do nothing to change it, or prevent its horrors. Well, most of us can't. After all those years of hiding in a bottle, it's good to see some action again. If only one last time. We're almost there. Or at least as far as I can take you. I've seen this. This moment. I'm sorry, my friend. This is as far as I can take you. I'm still alive. He was supposed to... Do you have any idea what you've done? What sort of power you're playing with? You absorbed everything he was, everything he would do. You changed the weave of destiny itself. Because of you, there are deeds he won't do. Children of his that won't be born. Victims that won't die when they were supposed to. Yes, I'm aware. But there's still no telling what damage you could do if you aren't careful. You're much more dangerous than I thought. We need to get you to the Theater of Fate right away. The Theater of Fate. I never thought I'd see it. We Fate Weavers never fully understood the power of this place. Seems there's a lot we don't understand. Gods, I should have brought another bottle. No surprise that Niskaru found its way to this place of power. Everything about these ruins is dedicated to this room, and at the center of it all is the Destiny Stone. With it, the Fae taught the Fate Weavers the answers to the deepest mysteries of fate. Put your hands on the stone, and maybe we can find answers to your own mysteries. This temple was built by the Arathi, and it's been here as long as recorded history. But the Destiny Stone was made by the first Fate Weavers. The legends say that they drew on ageless wisdom to build the stone. But with our order so scattered now, it hasn't been used in years. The Niskaru are hideous creatures of chaos and corruption. They hated the Arathi, but unlike them, the Niskaru still stalk our world. Thankfully, they've mostly been driven back from the Feylands, but you still find a few lurking deep underground. Just put your hand on the Destiny Stone. It'll show me where you fit into the tapestry of fate. The Destiny Stone came apart at your touch. And all around you, the tapestry of fate, unweaving itself. And there at the core was the Codex of Destiny. The wisdom that the Fae used to help the first Fate Weavers understand the nature of the weave. Don't you see what this means? Yes, it is. And from what I can tell, you're the one changing it. With every breath, you're changing how lives begin and end. The way the Codex of Destiny came to you out of the stone. That's got to mean something, too. But I'll be damned if I can read this thing. No. You can still die or fail. But fate doesn't enforce the weave on you. Your gift is freedom, to you and to those around you. And that means I owe you... Wait, what's that? Purge the the abomination! In the name of God's law!
Now this looks like some fun.
Who are you? How do we know you're not working with the Tuatha?
I don't care if you trust me. I'm much more interested in your friend here. You're welcome. I'm beginning to think that these Tuatha don't like you. Now why do you think that might be? After all, someone who can change the fate of the world, who wouldn't want you? Enough to know you're something special. Far more interesting than you were before you died. And that's saying quite a bit. Now it's my turn. What are you doing here? Ha! Knowing the future is for fools. Who reads the end of a book before it's time? Save your attention for the present. Like that codex you found? Our scholars thought those were all gone from the world. But you're just full of surprises. Good luck understanding it. That's Fey knowledge. They don't even have a written language. The stone is simply embedded with what they know, unseeable to mortals. Why worry about the little fish when deeper waters hold the more interesting secrets? There's more to this than you understand. I don't have the answers for you, but I know someone who might. When you're ready, meet me at the House of Ballads. I'm sure the Fae would love to meet you. Be on your way.
We can't trust her. Never met a Darkolfar who'd give me a straight answer, even with a sword at their throat. But she wasn't wrong about that codex. Just be careful doing anything she suggests. Meanwhile, we can't just ignore the Tuatha that are tracking you. We need to do something about them. She said they came through Didenhill, didn't she? They don't belong in these lands, so they probably left a trail wide as an Eden's backside. Meet me there, and we'll track them down. Maybe we can find out why they're after you. Or at least how they can find you so easily. I've got some final rites to perform before I leave this place. Good luck.
Welcome, Lady Sagril. May I congratulate you on your victory in Gorguath. I am Queen Belmaid, love of King Winston and Grand Lady of the House of Ballads. This realm is at the mercy of cycles, of seasons, and the role of the Fae is no different. The telling is the ongoing story in which we all play an integral part. It is difficult to see from its current condition, but the Oratory was once the finest venue for performances of the Summer Court canon. The voices still linger. We regaled many a king under the Oratory's grand canopy, but those seasons have passed. Our time has passed. I do not speak of my exploits, unless to warn against the pride that engulfs all who celebrate the telling. We are symbols of a greater truth, not the truth itself. I am best known for my infiltration of the Maid of Windermere's kingdom beyond the hills. It was I who shattered her ambitions to topple the Summer Court. The Fae of the East are not our enemies. We count them among our kind. At least we did. Times change. That is such a mortal thing to say. It is likely that you do not understand our need for continuity, our desire to repeat the past for the good of the coming future. What then is your drive to create a bloodline? There is no difference. The House of Ballads is our family tree. It is the sire we look to for wisdom. He represents all that is pure and just in the Summer Court. He is the vibrancy of life, what the Winter Court has always sought to darken with its decaying ways. She is our nemesis. The villain we in the House of Ballads are destined to thwart through all the seasons of the telling. If there is trouble, the Maid is at its origin. Hello, I'm Lady Olaine. What do I call you? I prefer names to titles. Sometimes we here at the House of Ballads can get a little caught up in the veneration. Of course, you're Sagril now, as it should be. Welcome. Famor was no friend to his kind even before he was cursed. It is good that Ferrara's lot in the telling is to end the fiend's days. He deserves it. It may seem silly to outsiders, but the Court of Enchantments has become very meaningful to the Fae of the Summer Court. Our songs live on despite the decline in magic. Mortals have kingdoms and tribes and nations. We Fae are connected to one another by a deeper understanding, a magic from which we've all been born. The Court of Summer is a circle of elders that, for lack of a better word, governs our kind. No one knows why it is happening. Not even Hallam the White. Yet every day we can feel it. Like a shiver of coming autumn. A deadly frost on the morning air. I believe it is due to what the Tuatha have wrought with their flames of war. The world burns. None of us can escape the cleansing fire. He's an incredible creature. Unique in every way. No other Fae hero has grasped the imagination of our people like he has. Call me Olaine. The others will never call me anything but Lady Olaine, Knight of the Golden Knot, Destroyer of Sreng, and Keeper of the Fenian Cycle. I won a seat in the House of Ballads many seasons ago. Back then I was lost, and I desired a new telling, one with meaning. Your kind might call it a purpose. I have not met one myself, but there is word that Tuatha have been glimpsed in the shadows of western Dalantarth. Our kind survives by the grace of nature, and there is nothing natural about the Tuatha. When the roots are poisoned, the fruit spoils on the vine.
When Hallam told me a mortal had taken the open seat, I did not believe him. But here you stand before me. Impressive. It is a pity about Sagra, a grand hero. But there's not time to raise the king's token in his honor. We need every hand carrying a sword for the coming battle. We've come to aid Sir Ferrara, our brother in the Court of Enchantments. It is time for his telling of the Ballad of Bloody Bones. Ferrara went in pursuit of his nemesis, for Bloody Bones has emerged, poised to abduct a maiden to be his mistress. So goes his song. You will need to revive Ferrara after the battle. I can only assume Hallam would not have sent you unprepared for this task. Go to Ferrara, and quickly. When the two of you finish, I will await you at the House of Ballads in the north. Do be careful, Sagra. Uduath is northwest, on the shores of Ettenmere. It is sealed by a powerful spell, but Bloody's magic is weak, and you should be able to gain entrance. It is a ballad of obsession and sacrifice, one of the summer's oldest. Bloody Bones was not always as a terror. No, he was once called Famor, a counselor to Issa himself. Sadly, he was driven by lust, and by his need to possess whatever he desired. Taking Lord Issa's lover, he fled with her to his hollow of Uduath. When the maiden was rescued, Issa cursed Famor. He could not die, and his soul would never enter the Great Cycle. He became an abomination, known only as Bloody Bones. Every few seasons, Bloody would emerge and steal away a maiden to make his bride. That is, until he took the beloved of Sir Ferrara. We are legendary champions at the telling, brought together for the purpose of ensuring Summer Court glory for seasons to come. Like all other Fae in the Western lands, I am a subject of the Court of Summer, our wise council of elders. They are responsible for the well-being of our kind. I do not speak of magic with a knowing tongue, but I do know that the persistence of Fae songs is eternally linked to the enchanted lore stones in which they exist. When mortals began to use magic to create, change, and even destroy their own lore stones, it was decided that the ballads of the Summer Court needed better protection. The cairns are a new kind of lore stone, Hallam's way of keeping outside influence from affecting our stories, from corrupting them as the days pass and seasons transpire. Few know the truth of the House of Ballads, that we are not the actual heroes of myth. Those knights have gone, passing into the cycle, or moving on to nobler adventures. However, it is our wish for the great songs to endure, that seasons of Fae would sing them before the fires. True power is in returning to what matters. So the House of Ballads was established, and worthy warriors were found to act in the roles of Wenson, Bellmaid, and the others. To tell these tales is a great honor. There is no need to kneel. Honestly, I wish I could do away with all this king nonsense altogether. The tragedy we face, it is not legend. It is real. It is now. Yes, I am the acting Wenson, but the true king has been gone for many seasons. I am the 5th such Fae to hold the title, and at times like this, I wish I did not. It is an amulet worn by all King Wensons in the telling. I wear it, as have all the kings who rose and fell at the mercy of the seasons. Only he who wears the king's token is worthy of walking in Wenson's stead, of singing the most important songs of the Summer Court. He is one who prefers action to discussion, a tempestuous firebrand who would rather pursue the mortal flesh than any other of life's mysteries. That is why his ballad is such a stirring one. Ferrara will always be the lovable rogue who finally chooses another over himself. Timeless is what it is. Good luck.
Mortal? Is this Wenson's idea of humor? Well, you look hardy enough. Won't botch the tale of Bloody Bones too badly, I suppose. Still, I'm curious as to how Hallam expects you to bring me back from the edge of the Great Cycle. But that's his problem, not mine. Let me be truthful with you, Dustling. I've never seen Bloody Bones act so erratically. He cares nothing for the story, as if he craves a different outcome. Instead of spiriting away a young mortal maiden, he took an entire camp. Men, women, children. It's mad, and certainly not part of the tale. And I thought this ballad couldn't get any worse, considering my impending demise. Well, let's get this over with, shall we? May your gods be with you.
So the witch was right. Help has come from Sir Ferrara the Fair, who flounders in the puddles of Uduath. Such a champion should never lose his way, not in his own song. You, new knight, leave now, forsaking the last prisoners, and I will share with you my knowledge. How I came to change things. Stay, and you'll have nothing but corpses.
Oh, I don't know who she is. I don't care. What concerns me is power. The power to end this pitiful design. In every song, the summer champion triumphs. His enemy falls. How long has this been the way of the telling? This existence. It is not a life. It is not a death. It is a snare in which I have struggled for centuries. No more. They are safe. But while mortals have no cares, they also have no time. I can keep them here in Uduath for as long as I wish. Until they are but dust. Some things never change with your lot. Lazy, loud, and obsessed with your own reflection. This isn't about my prisoners. This is about clinging to the past. Beware, I am not the only one who wishes to rewrite the great ballads. Others will rise up. The witch is making it so. Your prisoners will be set free, but will they survive long enough to escape?
To the king. Well done, Sagwell. You have proven yourself worthy of the name. Hallam's trust in you was not misguided. I don't know what to make of Bloody's tale, but it has the ring of truth to it. We must return to Wenson and tell him what we've learned here in Uduath. They are Almain, settlers from the west, searching for a place to plant their flag. Poor creatures. I've never seen such terrible luck. Camped just outside Uduath, right in Bloody Bones' warpath. Better they had cut their own throats. A kinder fate. I've always known my place has been among the heroes of the court. What other outcome could there be for one so deserving of adoration? A close companion he was. A true brother in your mortal understanding of the word. I trusted him. I had to, as he played such a vital role in my most memorable song. Is there any other way to view the warrior who saves your life time and again? You dustlings have a similar concept. I believe you call it death. But there is no elegance in your mortality, no poetry. Those of my kind perish, only to have their magic pass on into the great cycle, where it returns in kind, reborn into a world that welcomes such new beginnings. The Duke of the Cursed Fomorians, Slayer of Pombero and Protector of the Mabinogi. But you may call me brother. I have fought with the lords and ladies of the Court of Enchantments for 3 seasons. My skills with the blade and in the bed know no equal. Keep moving.
Only one head by the mercy of the gods. I thought my time had come at last. Fate does not seem to hold much stock in my expedition, but it leaves me alive to see its utter failure through to the end. I was leading an expedition to recover a pair of Arathi artifacts, known only as Shine and Shadow. I've spent the last decade researching them. Texts say the artifacts are powerful, but what they can do is never explicitly stated. Regardless, the Templars feel it best to place such items under their guard. But the Etin have hit us hard. And it's said that the artifacts are guarded in Delac by an ancient powerful shaman of their kind. I'm at a loss for what to do. I have not had such good news in some time. My research indicates that the artifacts are somewhere in Delac. It seems they're now a trophy of the Etin. I can promise you this much. Though my expedition was underprepared, it was not underfinanced. A large reward waits for one who finds the artifacts. I'm here from Odessa on business. The rest of my expedition was wiped out by the Etin. Can't say I know all that much about the old man, other than he's a fisherman here in Etinmere. He's quite a hospitable man, though. He let me stay here without much question. My research has tracked them to Delac. There is talk of an ancient guardian. From the looks of this place, it's likely some Etin. Their impudence seems tied to their devotion. From what I can tell, a small number of prominent shamans are rallying them. If someone had a head on their shoulders and a blade, then toppling those shaman would help pacify the area. I came here strictly for research purposes. This is not a place many people would come on their own accord.
There ain't no fish today, stranger. It's best you look elsewhere. Ugh, can't even look a fish in the face anymore. Not ever since I met that nymph. I can remember when I first saw her, on the cliff to the south, overlooking Etinmere. I saw that watery maiden and I fell in love with her. I've outlived my Imelda. My nephew Thaddeus up and left for Dyden Hill for want of never seeing me again. I had a chance of ending loneliness, but he was taken from me. The beasts of the wild scared her off. We were to wed by my pier, but I ain't seen her for days now. I'd search, but the monsters will rip me to shreds. I bet you could indeed. But that's only half of what's needed. You must also find my bride-to-be. Then the wedding will be upon us. I've got to find the ring. I need to find my bear mask. I need to prepare. You best start by the pier. If she's not there, keep heading south. She's bound to be somewhere. Go on now. I will ready myself for the wedding and then catch up to you. I was to meet her at the old pier, but the gentle creature got scared by the monsters, no doubt. I first laid eyes on her from the cliff overlooking the lake to the south. I bet if you head south, you'll still find her. Well, I've seen a few fine women in my day. Even met a fey woman in Gorehart long ago. But that nymph, she's something else. Her skin's luster, her heaving prow and ample stern. Except for the fishy parts, I mean. But even so, I've fished this lake enough that the form is, pleasingly familiar. I've been a fisherman on these shores since I could cast a net. Even the Etin leave me be. Used to be this was Holmes Lake. But I lost my wife Imelda to fever and my nephew abandoned me to go to Dyden Hill. And now I'm just a man content to die in the house my family built here years ago. They're hostile enough normally, but of late it seems like a couple have become struck with divine inspiration. Kind that makes the Etin go to war. If they keep this up, we might have an Etin war party on our hands. If only someone might take care of those shamans first. Sure, you can bed down for the night. Bedrow's out back by the shed. Not much here anymore besides the Etin and myself. We get the occasional traveller, but it's not often. Please, find my nymph. There she is, my lovely bride. I am all dressed and prepared for our wedding. Thank you, stranger. Bless you. Now, if you don't mind, I'm going to seal my bond with a ring and a kiss. Any last words for a crusty bachelor? My nymph! She just fouled that disgusting etching with a glance. Beauty cures even the beast, so they say. Did you not see her wiggle her way to the cliff overlooking the lake? It's where we first met, you know. A grand spot for our union. Well, friend, if there's nothing else, I'm off. You're welcome to witness the event if you care to. What are you talking about? That was my nymph. Have you not heard tales of them? It's staring you right in the face. Well, I'm not going to stand here and suffer the unfounded insults you keep slinging. I'm going to my wedding. Here goes nothing. That was no nymph, stranger. You see enough sadness in your life, and you look for hope where you can. But you were good enough to save me from that beast. Now, I ain't a rich man, you know, but I do have this to give you. It's my wedding ring. Now, I don't mean nothing by it. I've pissed on Imelda's memory enough. Seems fair I give up what hasn't been taken. I've been a fisherman on these shores since I could cast a net. Even yet and leave me be. Used to be this was the Holmes Lake. But I lost my wife Imelda to fever, and my nephew abandoned me to go to Dyden Hill. And now I'm just an old man content to die in the house my family built here years ago. They're hostile enough normally. But of late it seems like a couple have become struck with divine inspiration. The kind that makes the Etin go to war. If they keep this up, we might have an Etin war party on our hands. If only someone might take care of those shamans first. Not much here anymore besides the Etin and myself. We get the occasional traveller, but it's not often. It ain't much. Just a small charm that she had when we were wed. When fever took her, I mounted it on her grave. And then one of those two-headed bastards pried it off. Carried it to the lake, giggling like a pair of fools. Wouldn't dare follow the beasts there. But if you... well, you've helped me enough. Thank you. You're a kind soul indeed. The Etin took to the shore as soon as I saw him. He's somewhere on the lake's edge, I'm sure of it. One of those Etin took it and headed south, along the shore. He's somewhere on this lake. I know that much. Hello there. You found it after all. For Imelda's sake, I'm glad you didn't leave it with that monster. I have a few coins left to my name, and you can take them. And the bed's free for your use whenever you care for it.
These are Shine and Shadow? I was sent to recover artifacts of importance, not simple weapons. The Templars are going to think me a fool. How am I to return to them with these? Now you make a fair point. There might be more dignity in returning with nothing at all than bringing back a set of trinkets.
Very well. Keep the weapons as your reward. I hope you find more use for them.
I'm off to Odessa to bring them the sad news of the expedition. Their impudence seems tied to their devotion. From what I can tell, a small number of prominent shamans are rallying them. If someone had a head on their shoulders and a blade, then toppling those shaman would help pacify the area. My business is done here. I'm getting out of this horrible place and traveling back to Odessa. I had expected that they might be something like a miniature sun, a battery which held an intense magical reservoir. The Scholia Arcana had theorized about these kinds of objects, but I hoped the gnomes might have discovered them first.
Pleasant travels.
Always open for business when the... Road is your marketplace. Always looking to make a bit of coin.
Always a pleasure to gaze upon your sweet face. Well, how can I make you smile today? Until next time. Looking forward to it. Always a pleasure to gaze upon your sweet face. Well, how can I make you smile today? Please tell me it's something improper. Bye-bye. The court calls and I obey.
What is it?
Welcome. Hey, old Ukobal will teach you everything you need to know about alchemy. Pinch of this, drop of that. Not much to it, really. Tell me what you need and I'll see to it you get a bottle. That is, unless I've consumed it all in a fit of fancy. Care to learn? I can hardly discern one of you creatures from another. I mean no offense, of course. I simply don't care. Dig for the rumors elsewhere, my friend. I really don't remember how I came to be here. So long as no one tells me to leave, I'll carry on, spinning my own song long after everyone else is gone. Yeah.
How may I serve the cart?
I assure you it's an ancient codex, just like in the tales.
What is it? You again! Someone... Advice. A healer never... Goodbye.
And here I was beginning to think that you'd never show up. This is Lionel, lore master of the House of Ballads. Give the codex over to him, and he may have your answers. Lore Master Lionel has devoted centuries to the study of lore and ancient Fae stories. The codex you found isn't just any lore stone. Just talk to him, and I'm sure he'll be able to shed some light on the issue. I'm a woman of many talents, and we're all taught that we must use our talents for the greatest good, right? The Codex of Fate is no simple law stone. It's more subtle and complex than any mortal could comprehend. But a law master of ballads may be able to interpret it. For a long time, they were content to keep to their play of the summer and winter courts. Now we fight Gadflow and the Tuatha for our very existence. A close friend once told me, strive to be whatever you want to be. Fate might be a lie, but if it isn't, then worrying about it won't change a thing. Lionel's one of the greatest balladeers amongst the Fae, and the most learned lawmaster you'll find outside of Issa. And as it happens, he owes me a favor. The Fae do not have a written language, so their tales are their lifeblood, their history, and their future all in one. The House of Ballads is where they enshrine these legends and celebrate them time and again. The Summer Court, or the Seelie Fae if you prefer, embody the growth and energy of nature, but they can still be as aloof and uncaring as a brutal summer day. The current High King of the Fae is Titarian, the wisest of the Summer Court. While Gadflow has undermined the Winter Court, he tries to keep their cycle in balance. You haven't been around much, have you? The Tuatha have been pressing west from their home in Alabastra. Right now, they're only threatening my people. But if we fall, the Tuatha will turn their eyes to the other mortal races. The Tarian isn't quite what you'd expect from the High King of Summer. But he hasn't got the arrogance of his cousins, or their cheer. Ever since Gadflow killed the High King of Winter and started the war, the Tarian has become distant and melancholy, and blind to the dangers around him. The Tuatha are a radical sect of Fae within the Winter Court, led by Gadflow and his insane rants about their new god. They've taken power and declared war on mortals. They use raw prismia to enhance their power, and their devotion borders on madness. But the most terrifying thing to the Fae is simply the fact that their siblings have changed so completely. The Winter Court, or the Unseelie, embrace the destruction and decay of nature. They aren't evil, but they aren't exactly the best of friends. Normally they share power peacefully with the Summer Court. But since the Tuatha have seized power, there is neither peace nor predictability. Be on your way.
You must be Lady Shear's friend. She speaks very highly of you. An occasion rare enough to be worth recording in its own right. But let's see this codex. Oh, nothing. This is no mere law stone, you know. The Codex of Destiny is distilled knowledge from the High King of the Fae, given to the first Fate Weavers. To have such knowledge in your hands is a tremendous gift, but why did it reveal itself to you? Surely you have a part to play in some great tale. Perhaps you'll act as the chosen pawn, or even the wisest fool. Few children of dust have ever had such an honor. Now, I can only make out some parts, but this is odd. The Codex speaks of an exception, a void, an end to the endless. This is simply too much. The High King would never pawn such absurdity off as wisdom. I'm afraid I cannot. This simply cannot be the true Codex of Destiny. It must be nothing more than a very impressive forgery. It speaks of impossible things. Changes to fate, death of the immortals, and other heresies. To ascribe these lies to the High King would be treason. I would thank you to take your Codex away from here. I will have no part in these lies. Is there a meaning to it? Only its author could tell you. He is an offense to our people. He upsets the natural order, and his war breaks the cycle. I will speak no more of him. Do not bother me with such foolishness again.
Lionel spends his life cherishing old stories, but show him something truly new, and he dismisses it. Tragic. First of all, we ignore this fool. Most Fae aren't comfortable with change, and you are certainly something new. I'm afraid that only one person will really be able to help us with the Codex, the High King himself. It will be difficult. His court is in the city of Issa. Very few mortals are permitted in its gardens. I do know one individual who can grant you permission to enter, but you'll have to meet him alone. Niralim is more of a what than a who. You'll understand when you meet him. With any luck, he'll be more favorably disposed to you than he is to me. He's bound to be curious at least. You'll find him in southeast Dalantar, at Caer Niralim. Just head towards the giant tree and, well, you'll see. That codex isn't just a complicated lore stone. It seems to tell a tale most Fae don't want to hear, and created by High King Tatarian himself, no less. Interesting. We've known for a long time that Prismir crystals allow us to store and focus magical power. The gnomes use it in their grander inventions, when they can get it. But we have no idea how Gadflow got a hold of so much of it. It makes his Tuatha the most dangerous army I've ever seen. Niralim is the oldest living mortal. He remembers the time before even the Fae called these lands home. You should see how they cherish him. He rarely grants an audience to visitors. His tenders say he knows the future as well as the past. It makes him very particular about what he says. None of us could have foreseen the rise of Gadflow and his army, but we should have, and now we're all facing the price. That old coward. He may have lived 100 heroic lives, but he's lost the moment he faces something truly new. Pathetic. You'll have to meet him on your own. I'd accompany you, but Niralim and I have our disagreements. Good luck with Niralim, and ignore anything he says about me.
You have done well, Morn.
I am relieved to see you well. What is happening? First Sagrel, and now Bloody Bones. These are shocking developments. Listen, Hallam and I have been discussing what transpired in Uduath. You are needed for a very special quest, a song of your very own. You must travel to the home of Tenwa, also known as the Librarian. It is an important journey, not without its perils. I know little about the Librarian. Only that she and Hallam have spent many seasons studying the ebbing tides of magic and how best to preserve our ballads. She is an odd creature, quite aloof and reclusive. From what I've heard, she enjoys the scholarly arts of men with all their brittle, ink-stained quirks. Do not rouse your mortal worry for Hallam. He has left the court seeking answers to our many questions. He will return in time. If someone is corrupting the songs of this great house, Hallam will find them. He is the storyteller, and he knows our ballads better than anyone. Go to Tenwa's cottage in Haxi. She will be waiting for you. Retrieve a ballad from her collection of Fae cairns. It is called The Hero and the Maid. Bring it to me, and guard it with your life. Its worth cannot be measured. The library is a collection of special lore stone called cairns, in which are kept the greatest of summer court ballads. As long as they are safe, so too are our songs. The library was not Lord Issa's idea, but the inspiration of Hallam the White. He created the cairns and cast the spell that protects them. The world is changing. Everyone knows it, even if some choose not to accept it. Even as Summer Court magic weakens, our library of lore will remain strong. Her cottage stands in the gap between Yolvan and Haxi, southeast of here. It is an isolated spot, safe. Tenwa is expecting you.
Greetings. Welcome to our haven in the Shi. I am Citric Vorm. My brother Arhaus and I give assistance to any wayfarer that may need it. You look a lot more hearty than the sort we typically get here. You might be able to help me. We've had several visitors from Detir tell us that they were savagely ambushed by brownies. Unusual. Brownies of the Shi are not that aggressive. They mostly keep to themselves and only attack when approached. If there is indeed a group of brownies ambushing travelers, then those monsters need to be taken care of. Good. I'll see that you are rewarded for your efforts. I still have trouble believing those brownies would be so aggressive. Most unusual. We lost our parents when I was young, and since then, he's always looked out for me. When he went to sea, I followed him. When he settled here, I did the same. It's a barren desert full of greedy miners and vicious bandits. Arhaus and I did our best to avoid it when we traveled here, and I'd suggest you do the same. My brother hired him, although I don't know why. Whenever there's work to do, Gunnar seems to disappear. We do allow strangers to stay here from time to time, though for a small fee. Would you like to rent a room? Let me know if you change your mind. It can be pretty exhausting out there in the Shi. Me? I don't have much to tell. I followed my brother to sea after our parents died. I enjoyed being on the ship. There was a solace there, but the ports, I cared little for the crowds. I know Arhaus misses the ocean, but I love the solitude of the forest. A dangerous place to be sure, but I find its dark depths peaceful. The solitude a welcome change over the bustling ports of Rathir. But it's not without its lighter side. Just the other day, I saw Arhaus go sprinting by with a brownie attached firmly to his arse. I've never laughed so hard. If there are indeed a group of brownies attacking people, then you must put a stop to it. Follow the trail to Detir. It is in the southern Shi. Find the brownies, get rid of them. See you later.
Well, it's always nice to see a passerby. You're the traveler I'm waiting for, eh? Shall we get to business? Don't listen when people tell you that travelers only value the freedom to do what they wish. They also value what's in your pocket and whatever else they can take from you. And that includes stripping your shirt from your back. Run by the travelers, a bunch of damn thieves. Lost nearly everything while dicing to them. Our house is leasing me this shirt for 1/3 of my wages, and it's got holes in it. The Worms know talent when they see it. I practically run this lodge for them. Oh, and while I'm thinking of it, stay away from the Star Camp up the road if you can. Goodbye. Hello again, traveler. You've got... Yes, I was recently contacted by Star Camp about selling the daggers, which I acquired at considerable risk and expense. So I think it's fair that I change the deal. I want to be paid in full up front. Then I'll notify you where the daggers can be recovered. That said, you can pay me now, and this can all be over with. Wait, what is this? You're actually paying? I mean, it's been a pleasure doing business with you. I've hid the daggers in the Shi. There's a map in the strongbox upstairs that will lead you to it. This key will get you the map. Hidden in the Shi. The key you bought off me unlocks my chest upstairs. In there's the map that will lead you to the daggers. See you around. Good day. Hello there.
Welcome to our lodge. Surprised you made it out here by yourself. The Shi is a dangerous place. Lucas Soren, the poor soul in the next room. She did not fare so well. She was attacked by a thresh. Normally a fatal encounter in and of itself. Barely managed to make it here before passing out. That wasn't enough. She's had a rare reaction to the thresh's usually benign venom. Only thing that will save her is a rare plant found in the Shi. But I cannot venture out to get one. I tried, but the forest is not like the sea. I got turned around so many times it felt like the trees were dancing around me. It's just too far into the Shi. I could not make it. You will? Well, If you manage to bring me one, I'll reward you with what I can. I've heard that seerstalk grow near flowing, misting water, so you might try following the river north. I thought I heard the roar of waterfalls when I once wandered up there, but I didn't go far enough to find out. The She, you know. Seerstalk are supposed to grow near flowing, misting water. Follow the river to the northern She. I'm sure I've heard waterfalls in the distance. The Worms have always been traders. I took to the sea early in my life. I always knew I was going to captain my own ship. But fate has its way with you at times. After Rathir, I needed to get as far away from the sea as I could. I do miss the ocean, but I've come to realize that there are other joys in life. Gunnar showed up one day begging for help. Said he was a poor miner from Detir who lost his job when his mine shut down. Not sure I believe him, though. Hired him more out of pity than anything. Not sure he can actually do anything useful. She managed to tell me her name before passing out. That and a thresh had attacked her. I tried to help her as best I could, even gave her my room to recover in. But nothing has helped. I'm afraid it's only a matter of time. The great Dokkelfar city in eastern Erethel. A great port with many a profit to be found. We must have sailed in and out of there more than any other port in the continent. But war has changed Rathir. They're not as friendly as they used to be. My younger brother. After I went to sea, he couldn't wait to join me. Our parents wouldn't let him. Said he was too young. But after they died, the sea was the only place for him to go. After the trouble in Rathir, I told him he didn't have to come with me, but he insisted that families stick together. This forest has been trying to kill me ever since we got here. If it's not boggarts springing out of the bushes, it's brownies trying to take a bite out of my arse. I tell you, I much prefer the ocean. At least the things trying to eat me there are down under the water. I haven't seen one myself, but I've heard they're dangerous things. Demented trees with branches sharp as razors. Normally they're surrounded by boggarts, so if you see any of those, keep your eyes open. The thresh may not be far behind. Another time then.
Please, make the pain stop. While the Shaper brushed the plains with hills and wheat, and the Carver molded the deserts with a careful, measured hand, the third of the Majestics stood from the earthen cradle and beheld the glories of their work.
He was the architect and carried in his mind a dream, the form of growth, a design shaped in nature, a place of wild abundance in harmony.
Mortals do not usually wander about the Shea.
The architect readied himself. He construed the goods of earth and sky as tools, and weighted plans of origins, built two-piece planks for wood and stone. He began creating. Waters trickled through the Shea and life sprung from the ground. The wolf and its antelope, the bear and its fish, all the work of the architect.
The world is changing.
As the architect labored, he found an inferno. There, in the heart of the Feywood, the fire raged. It consumed all life uncontrollably. He faced the inferno, but could not quell its hunger. In despair, he looked upon the Sidhe. He saw the saplings nourished by the gentlest of touches. He went to the river and said, "Follow this path and you will never run dry." The river changed its course and fell onto the blaze. A tired sigh escaped the water. It remains as an azure mist upon the land, ringing with fatal song. Its gloomy brow left a sheen of rich dew on every leaf and blade of grass. The fires abated, the rock cloven by time, and the cascade sauntering through this vale. The architect finished crafting the She. This haunting beauty, a mystic requiem for the fading of Ashara's other children. It will forever remain the body of the forest, built from an ordered wilderness, constructed by a natural chaos.
So, there was indeed a group of brownies attacking those on the trail to Detir. Well, here is the reward I promised for taking care of them. Still, it is strange that brownies would act in such a way. I wonder... I've heard of something that could make them act that aggressively, but it can't be here. We must go to Rundamir. It is the largest brownie den in the She. I'm sure we will find the answer there. Make sure you are prepared. Brownies may look weak, but they are ferocious in large numbers. After you are ready, head south. Rundamir is a Fey hollow on the edge of the She. I will meet you there. A thresh is a vicious Fey creature, a twisted spirit of the trees. You'll find them deep within the She. I steer clear of them, and I suggest you do the same. But if you find yourself up against one, set it ablaze. They make a merry bonfire. It is a Fey hollow on the southern edge of the She. The brownies that inhabit it have never been more than a nuisance, until now. Our house found her outside one morning, barely alive, mumbling incoherently. From her ravings, our house figured that she'd been attacked by a thresh. Nasty creatures, those. Amazing that she made it so far after being so grievously wounded. We're going to Rundamir to find out why the brownies have been ambushing people in the She. Goodbye.
A seerstalk! I cannot believe it! Here is your reward. You more than deserve it. I shall administer this to Luca at once. The seerstalk should make quick work of the venom. Safe travels. Greetings.
Hello there. Thank you, stranger. Our house tells me if it were not for you, I would not have recovered. I am not accustomed to such injury. Usually I am more than capable of taking care of myself. I have no desire to encounter that thresh again. I would not have survived if he had not found me. He's been very kind to me while I recover. I still feel weak, but I am better, thanks to you and our house. I came to the She in search of my father, who has been missing for some time. I thought he might be here, for he is obsessed with the Fey Hollows of Dalantarth. Our house was kind enough to offer lodging while I searched. He is a most interesting Varani. A quiet sort, but if you can get him to speak, he has a disarming sense of humor. He defers to our house when within the lodge, but it's Citric who takes the lead should they venture into the She. There was a time when all of Dalantarth was as the She is now. Primordial, ancient, knowing. It is a place of Fey magic, both wild and immortal. Tread carefully in its depths. Nature, for all her beauty, can be cruel. You have not seen much of the world if you know not of the travelers. Entertainers, gypsies, thieves. They go where they want, when they want, and more often than not, take what they want along the way. I hear they are always open to recruiting new blood, so if you have a talent, perhaps you should introduce yourself. You shall not find a more malevolent Fey. I had hoped to avoid them while I traversed the She. I fled as soon as I saw the thresh. I did not flee fast enough. Do not make that claim lightly, for a thresh is not something so easily overcome. In truth, I would walk easier through the She knowing the thresh has been removed. Please reconsider, for though I wish to see an end put to this creature, I would not risk your life or that of any other. If you are determined to defeat it, I will tell you where I encountered it. But go with care, for I have no desire to send you to your death. The Thresh attacked me in the Eastern Shi, south of the river. Normally, I would ask that you reconsider such a dangerous pursuit. But, because you are insistent, I shall tell you this. The Thresh is in the Eastern Shi, south of the river. Later then.